Hey everyone, Temporal here, and today we are covering Bastion. And what we really need to understand about Bastion is you have to be unpredictable. Bastion's kit is probably the worst in the game. If you're looking at Bastion, he's probably the worst hero in Overwatch 1, but that kind of makes climbing with him all the sweeter, if that's what you want to do. You really have to have beaten your opponent, you have to have outthunk them, you really have to beat them into the mind games. So when we look at Bastion, what we really have here is we have a ton of power. Like, Bastion delivers a lot of power through the damage that he can do with his 300 ammo clip. He can deliver a lot of damage really, really quickly, even burn through those tanks. But his weakness is that if he gets surrounded, he's just going to get destroyed. If opponents are able to get close to him without taking damage, because he's a poke hero, if opponents are able to go, hey, there's a Bastion set up here, there's a wall here, we sneak up to this wall, and then we're just on top of him, or we drop from high ground onto him, he's going to have a bad time. He's got really bad mobility. He might seem like he has okay survivability. Hey, you can get your 300 health here. Hey, you have some armor, you have some self-repair, but the reality is, his survivability is bad because his mobility is bad. So, at least outside of his ultimate. So, we look at Bastion, and we've got really, really high power, but we don't have much in terms of actual tools in our kit besides that high damage power. So, how do you make a hero like this work? How do you work against someone with a more diverse kit like Soldier, who has sprint and helix rockets and healing station and can really take off angles and flanks and do all those things? And, oh, well, you actually use off angles and such as well, but you have to be even more extreme about it. You have to take advantage of the fact that Bastion can do a silly amount of damage. So instead of positioning in places like here, we could go, this would be a kind of standard Bastion position. You guys might look at that and not really be terribly surprised. We could instead position somewhere like, oh, say, here, and wait for the opponents to walk in and then just blow them up from behind. That sort of thing. And it doesn't matter that you're alone, that you're not going to get any support. The idea is you're quickly going to trade out 2 to 3 people in turret form and just take them out. Or, maybe even better, because I don't actually love this one, it's too long without you having influence, you would end up in a situation where you might go, you're chilling here. You're seeing if the opponents properly path through up here, get their good lane control, or if they just walk it down here. If they take this lane control, you back off, no problem. If they just try to walk it down mid, you crouch walk, crouch walk, crouch walk, you drop behind them, transform into turret mode, you are going to take a trip back to spawn as a result of this. And that's totally fine, because you can eliminate 2 to 3 people from behind with a full-on flank. This isn't like what a Soldier 76 or a Cassidy would do. This is more like a Tracer level flank. You're full-on behind them, and hey, you're going to accept that you'll be trading out, but you're going to take 2 or 3 people with you, or you're going to drain a ton of their resources as they turn around, took you, sleep you, whatever, but it doesn't matter. Yes, you do want to do it as your team is engaging. You're going to just quickly delete a couple of them, and your team easily wins the fight. And you're actually looking to do that a lot of the time, because again, you take really, really strong power. If you just dropped a Soldier back here, it's possible they'd be able to get 2 picks, but the reality is a Soldier, for example, or even a Tracer, drops out a lot less damage. When Tracer goes behind and does this, Tracer wants to put pressure on them, annoy them, maybe get a pick, and get out, but mostly sort of keep them distracted, paying attention to this. Soldier might be able to get a pick, but if he dropped here, he's really kind of done. He's not making it back through. If a Bastion does this, they accept that they're taking a trip to spawn, but they're going to get more out of the opponents than they gave up in their own life. And that is really what you're looking to do as Bastion. You do that a few fights in a row, you play this lurking Bastion, and then you get into a situation where you've covered for your weakness. Your opponents are starting to go, hey, we need to check every corner. We walk up here, no Bastion there, good. Oh, immediately check here, make sure there's no Bastion, okay. Immediately check here, make sure there's no Bastion. No, we can't go this way. Let's go this way. Let's go up here. Make sure there's no Bastion. Okay, we're still good. No Bastion in there. No Bastion there. Okay, we're good. Or we went this way. Better check our corner for the Bastion. You know, all those things. That's what you're looking to do. That's what you're looking to force out of the opponents. That starts costing them more time. They're constantly worried about your Bastion. So what do you do at that point? Well, at that point, you're going to have to revert to standard hit scan positions, and you don't want to get caught. You don't want to get caught having been for example, right here when they checked for you, because then you're potentially just going to get eliminated. They can round the corner with some DM. They can round the corner with a Roadhog and just eliminate you before you trade for them if it wasn't a surprise. So you can't just do this, hey, I'm going to be lurking every single time. So you do have to revert to some more standard, hey, maybe I'm going to be here, maybe I'm going to here. You're not going to do the Bastion bunker thing of, hey, let's stack everyone in the Mercy and the Orisa and the Reinhardt shield and, you know, like, oh, go, this is our super bunker. No, you're not interested in that. That might work through like gold maybe. That's not how you see Bastions that try to win in GM regularly playing the game. You might for like a minute hold or something see something like that. That's not a real serious thing though for someone that's actually trying to take advantage of Bastion's very limited kit to win in high level games. That's the opponents don't know how to solve it. That is not the Bastion actually beating their opponents. So to beat their opponents, you do this lurking and you mix with the lurking more standard, hey, I've got high ground. Hey, I've got an off angle and my team's shooting from over there. I'm shooting from over here. This is annoying. Oh, I can sustain similar to how a soldier could with my self-repair. I can maybe pop out here in turret mode if I want to apply some damage. Really, they're going to go try to clear you. You're going to peel back, whatever the case may be. You just play it like a standard hit scan. You're going to be worse than you'd run into if you were an Ashe, a soldier, a Cassidy, anything like that. So what do you do to fix that? Well, you've potentially already gotten some value by making your opponents have to check all the time. That takes time off the clock. This is an objective-based game. So either they push the cart less or they don't get to the cart or, you know, whatever the case may be, it takes them longer time. That does help you. But the other thing you have is you get into Bastion's ultimate. Bastion's ultimate is best used in situations either where you can't set up a lurking play. Maybe you didn't win the last fight, so you don't have control of the objective. Remember in Overwatch, it's not about attack and defense. The attackers are usually the ones who are trying to take control of the objective, and the defenders are usually the ones who are trying to get it back. So in this situation, sure, the attackers might be this blue team that's walking in, but once blue team has control of this cart and is pushing through on second with control of the cart, it might be the defense side, the red team, that are attacking back into it. So there is no like, oh, only pick Bastion on defense or anything like that. That's long gone. It's just whether you're currently in a portion that's causing you to have to attack or defend for objective control there to get it back. So Bastion likes to use his tank mode either when he's in a more standard hit scan play because that will level him up. What tank mode does is it actually weakens Bastion. Power level goes down, but mobility goes from 0 to like up. It doesn't actually become the most mobile hero in the game or anything, though he can rocket jump, and that's nice, but if he has, pretend, 3/4 of his power, but standard mobility, that's actually quite nice for Bastion. That inverts his kit a little bit, helps him out, lets him do some things. So it can be useful when he's playing on those standard off angles to have that sort of thing for things where, hey, you're playing a more standard off angle because you don't want to get predicted that hard by the opponents and get cleaned up and get yourself eliminated before the fight starts because you were lurking, and therefore the opponents just win the fight because they get you first and then they have a 6v5. So you go, hey, I'm going to play this one standard, and it's better to play it standard if you have this tank mode that is going to make you a little bit better for the standard play. It's also better to use tank mode when you don't have control of the objective because it's harder to set up a lurk when you have to move into space that the opponents already control. It's much easier to set up your lurking plays when you're in situations where you have the map control and the opponents are having to push into your map control to try to get the objective. So that's really how it works. And as you've probably figured out here, the reason I call this a guessing game is you want to create a situation where the opponents are looking for you, whatever the case may be, before they go too far, slowing themselves down, but you never actually want them to find you. You want anytime they stop looking for you to just immediately go, hey, I traded out for 3 of you, or I traded out for 3 of you as the fight started and my team just wipes you out. That's fantastic. You want that, but you don't want to actually get caught. So you're kind of playing a bunch of coin flips that are you making hard reads on how much the opponents are going to look and where the opponents are going to check for you. And yes, you can hide yourself in better places like this one, where it's hard for the opponents to check for you because they get here and they're getting shot by your team, but it's also going to be less powerful, less surprising. They're going to have other ways to route through that sort of thing. If you go deeper, it's going to be more frustrating to them. It's going to more quickly win fights before your team is able to lose them, that sort of thing. So Bastion really is about those mind games, really is about making those hard reads and then going, hey, I'll do these hard reads where I can trade for 2 to 3 people like this, and then I'll mix it in with just completely standard, innocent hit scan play that maybe I'll power up a little bit with tank mode. That's what you're looking to do with Bastion. If you guys have questions, comments, definitely leave them in the comments down below there. I'll try to answer those. If you're looking to see another hero for a mini guide like this, please leave that in the comments as well. And as for those of you who didn't realize, this is a stack of some people that are in the Discord, actually, that were playing against this Bastion. That's how I got this code to use for the demo purposes here. And if you guys want to join the Discord, head into some of those stacks, see some educational Overwatch, that sort of thing, please do join the Discord in the description below, see the sort of coaching I offer, all those good things. Drop a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Temporal out.